Oh, I failed a Google interview in 2013.
Last summer I interviewed for Google and they rejected me, and that was pretty sad.
Applied for a software engineering role, made it pretty close to the end, but ultimately didn't quite clear the bar.
I got rejected after the phone screen.
I failed my interviews for Google 4 times, and I got in on the 5th time. So first time failed, second time failed, third time failed, fourth time failed. I think I got in on the 4th or 5th time, I can't remember.
I actually didn't do a lot of prep for the first one, and I think maybe that was part of it.
I think the one thing I didn't really practice enough of was actually answering questions asked by a person.
I don't think it wasn't that I didn't prepare so much as I didn't feel confident in myself.
An HR person asking me lots of engineering questions, and I got lots of them just a little bit wrong.
Really didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I just turned up and I just failed, pretty obviously.
I think the biggest difference between the failure and the success that I'd learned was how the interview process worked.
You know, it's not just memorising a bunch of algorithms and regurgitating them at the interviewer. You actually need to understand them well enough.
In hindsight, I should have known more about that because, I mean, obviously that is what the internship was going to involve. So yeah.
I guess a lot of it came to me naturally. After the first interview, I knew what to expect and I was able to relax myself a bit more.
I think I used a lot more online question resources the successful time.
Reading through cracking the coding interview and doing some sample questions.
I'm going to do this question 40 minutes and then move on to the next question even if you don't get it. And that's really good practice on coding under pressure.
So I used this amazing thing called Google to search for things to do with tech interviews, and then I spent some time revising and studying.
Because I'd gone through the process again before, I was more confident this time. I didn't seize up.
Everybody who interviews you has been interviewed at some point, and so they get how you're feeling. They know how nervous they were when they did the first interview. I know how nervous I was when I did my first interview.
They'll call you, so I think it would be good to use a headset for this because you want your hands to be free and typing.
I thought it would be a lot more like the interviewer would just give you a question and then you would just have to go and they wouldn't help you or anything.
So they'll usually start off by introducing themselves, saying, you know, what they work on at Google, just a rough, brief overview.
Fundamentally, the main question we're asking when people interview candidates at Google is, would you want to work with this person?
Even though he saw that I wasn't really, you know, appropriate for a product manager, he liked me, so he referred me for another round of interviews as a SWE.
Everyone I do interviews with has a different way of approaching problems, and it's really good to share those ways.
Number one bit of advice would be to practice talking while coding because it's actually really hard to do if you don't practice.
Do try and practice with real people asking you real questions.
I got my dad to call me up, ask me a question which I need an answer to, but I just wanted to code it up and talk about it at the same time.
Google, what a Google interview is like why would you not do your research? I mean, everybody's done a research, but this is almost common sense. So